Hello. Welcome to another stream. Test 1, 2, 3. Can you confirm if everyone can hear? I think you should be able to. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a really simple, small stream. We'll have some question answers. We'll have some AI work as well. But we'll keep this simple. How's everyone doing? Okay, let's see. So again, this stream is mostly for question answers. So you can share your questions in the chat, and I can try to answer those. Your asset folders are on in tab. Okay. And let's see. Here we are. Good. What kind of projects are you working on these days? And I'll share the captions here as well. So this is, of course, a Q&A stream. So feel free to ask your questions in the chat. I'm looking at all the links as well. And I'll be working in the meantime as well. Ajaz says hello to you too. How's it going, Ajaz? I'm gonna also enable some a bit of sounds as well. Do you have projects related to prediction of crop yields using a satellite imagery? Nope, I don't. I don't have any such projects. Why do you ask? Are you working on a FIP with that or what? MD, how's it going, MD? I'm trying to finish some work that I was doing, so hopefully in a short, and I don't have a lot of time. I have to go in about 45 minutes. Is it 45? No, it's actually 35 minutes. But yeah, I'm here for chat as well. We'll try to do both of them. It gives you more kicks, so to say. So what kind of projects are you working on these days? I was also about to look at some of the mentorship requests that we have received lately, but I don't want to share those online. So I'm going to be doing that side by side. It just says, I'm working in machine learning to predict crop yields. That's good. All the best. Is that like a university project or what? What is that? By the way, stream English में भी हो सकती है, उर्दू में भी हो सकती है. तो अगर आपके कोई questions उर्दू में हो, तो you can also ask those as well, of course. I'm going to try to close my tabs in the meantime. अच्छा जी, let's see. ठीक हो गया है. एजाज कह रहे हैं कि this is my PhD project. Good, all the best. M. Tosif Qamar says, I'm building mobile apps using Antigravity and Cloud Code. My question: how do you make sure your agents are following the correct security protocols and eventually make the app secure? Tosif, एक plugin है. It's called GSD. Have you tried it? Let me know if you have tried that plugin or not. I'm gonna try to share my screen as well. Wait, what happened? Sorry, screen one, share, window, not window, but actually region. Let's see if I'm able to. Not able to do it in the first try. Let's try again. Replace screen sharing. Try screen. I thought I could do it in first try. Clearly not. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's see. And there we go. So there's this tool called um, GSD or Get Shit Done. If you want to use, if you have not used it, अगर आप Cloud Code use कर रहे हो, तो you should be checking this out. It's a really good tool. I'm using it, and मतलब, my mind is blown with the quality that you can get out of it, especially if you're doing correct correct prompt engineering. इसका थोड़ा सा review दे देता हूँ. Prakhar Kapoor, how's it going, Prakhar? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Hassan, why do you have your first name and last name the same? I mean, I have so many questions now. Well, hello to you too as well. Recently, my VS Code, VS Studio crash environments. I don't know why. I don't know why as well. इसाक बलोच कह रहे हैं, सर व्हाट अबाउट वेब डेवलपर? इसाक, अपना क्वेश्चन थोड़ा डिटेल में लिखें. कोशिश करें कि मतलब थोड़ी सी मेहनत करके टाइप करें सवाल क्या है, एंड देन आई कैन आंसर. What does it do? When you use this tool, GSD, what happens is it essentially has a framework of how Cloud Code works. So it can enhance the whole workflow. For example, what this does is it has a flow. So for example, when you start a new project, or let's say even if you have an existing code base, you can do a new project, right? Then you can do then it asks you, what do you want to build? It asks questions, it does some research on its own using the cloud models. Then it gathers the whole requirement. So you will see it asking you questions like, what do you want to build? Do you want to do it this way or that way? Do you want to one approach over the other? So it questions you quite a lot until it has exact requirements from you. And that makes it possible for Claude to write code and build the application in a way that actually works. Can you show a bit of its working? I can't. Yeah, I can. Give me 1 second. There's something that I've built already, and I can show you the output of it as well. I don't know if I can do a full-blown demo at the moment, or maybe I can show something that I'm already doing. Okay, let me try to bring this in here. Maybe let's try to create a new window here. I'm going to move this guy here, and then I can show you. So let's see, because I already have a session that's actually working right now. Yeah, no problem. I can show you just a bit. So so I have a book that I'm working on at the moment. And this is not a shameless plug, but I have a book that I'm working on at the moment. I announced it a couple of weeks ago. So this is the code of my book. So this essentially contains a bunch of things. Like it has the manuscripts right here. So this is the content of the book. It's a very basic web development book. So it has the intro to HTML, CSS3, advanced, etc., etc. But then also it has images, like as the images won't be shown here, but it has all these figures as well. So figures, images, outputs, all of those things, right? So what I'm trying to do right now is that I'm trying to evaluate this in terms of its in terms of how do you call it, how accurate this is, and especially how accurate the images are. So I'm looking into that at the moment. Hey Hamza, how's it going? Hamza Butt says hi. Particle says hi. Hey Particle, good to see you again, man. So let me show you what it is at the moment. That's not the one. Um, uh, I'm showing you the product itself, and then what I'm trying to do with the get shit done stuff. Let's see if I can. Hmm. I have my server running there, of course. So that would be, I think that's this one. Not this one actually. It should be the one that is here. Okay. Let's go back to 6. Let's try this out again. And now I can go to my local host, which should be this one. And it's definitely not this. So this is my book called Zero to Website. I will publish this on Amazon and then also LeanPub as well. So for example, if I go to let's say advanced CSS structure here, so in here you can see that we are discussing some of the topics. For example, CSX Flex container, how does that work? Then we have some code here, code here, code here, and then we have an image, right? So we have some images, and we have some text, some code, so all of that. So what I want to do right now is with Cloud Code, I want to verify that the content matches the image, and then also the image actually explains the concept correctly. And the reason why I'm doing this is that because this book is extracted out from one of my courses. So I have a video course on YouTube. It's in Urdu, but I've covered all these concepts, and the missing parts I've added I've added myself, plus some missing gaps were filled from Gemini. So right now what I'm doing with GSD is that I'm going through all these, every single image, and verifying the content of it as well. So what it does essentially, if we go to the GSD side, and it's right now working on some things, is that it creates a bunch of phases. For example, I want to do two things with this book. One is I want to verify the content of the book. Second is I don't want the book to be a static, just the book. I want to create what do you call it, an interactive experience as well, where people can take the information from the book and then can write some code, see some output, interact with it, and have an AI agent helping them understand if they are doing things right or not, giving them challenges based off the content from the book, and then giving them more exercises as well. So it's not just the text, but it's also an experience as well. So that's what I'm working with at the moment. So with this book, what GSD does is that when you start a new project, and a new project means you are starting a GSD project, a Get Shit Done project. What it does is that it goes ahead and it creates a planning document here. The planning document here will contain a bunch of things. It would contain the whole information. And if you have an existing project, you do something called mapping first. It feels like I'm giving a whole tutorial of GSD, which I could have recorded now. But let's say we go here and see the project. In here, Claude plus GSD have identified what the project is. So an interactive learning platform that accompanies Zero to Website book, blah, blah, blah. Because what I've asked GSD to do is to create that platform. The platform is my main project. It is going to access code from the book itself, but I'm creating that platform where users can log in, share their progress on how much book they have read, have other sort of leaderboards, etc. So here you can see complete beginners can learn web development through guided practical practice with AI tutor that adapts to their struggles and keeps them engaged through competition and rewards. I've not written all this content, but Claude, when it was trying to create the project, or GSD, when it was trying to create the project, it asked me a lot of questions, and then it wrote all these things, and then I reviewed all of this. So when you're working with GSD, you do a lot of talking. That is what kind of makes it a bit more time consuming. But once you have those things done, then it's really smooth. So you have a clear requirement document. So here you can see the requirement document. Of course, I did not create it like the whole thing. GSD created it. So it created a bunch of tickets for itself. It's like how the usual software development works. You have a product requirement document, PRD. You have some tickets. You have phases, and then you do those phases one by one, and then you go ahead. So here are the requirements. For example, user can sign up with the email and password. User can log in and stay logged in across sessions. User can log out. I did not write all of these, right? So I essentially went ahead with the initial requirement document as much as I could explain that, and then Claude did the rest. I'm looking at some chat messages as well. Snagglefluster says, I need some help. Okay, go ahead and ask what your question is. I'm taking some questions in the meantime as well. Um, Sir, what is your take on this point? I've seen graduates work in a startup for 1-2 years, and when they gain enough experience, they switch to corporate companies. How does the startup bear with this thing? So how the startup bear with this thing? That's a very common practice. People usually work in small companies and then they leave the small companies to work in big companies because both of those have different experiences. The small companies give you a lot of autonomy and also a lot of opportunity. So you work on the front end, you work on the back end, you work on the CI/CD, you work on DevOps, you work with testing. You work sometimes even as a Scrum Master. So I've done that like a product owner. And when you have enough experience, sometimes you want a bit, what do you call it? A bit of structure, and then you want to slow things down. Within startups and within small companies, you have a lot of pressure. It's it's a rush sort of environment. When you go to corporate companies, everything is defined. You have culture defined, you have structure defined. There's a DevOps team, there's a backend team, there's a design team. There are product owners, there are Scrum Masters. So all of those rules are defined. So you do just your job, and it's a bit steady and slow. So my what is my take on it? um, I think it depends on what kind of experience do you want and where do you want to work. For example, even after working with 13 years in the industry, whenever I feel like, okay, I need something that's a bit faster, that has more challenge, that has more kicks in, something from ground up, then I would join a startup company. I would go there, let's say as a tech lead or a CTO, and then I would go there and build everything from scratch, do research, ship fast, take feedback, build the user base. That's a different kind of experience. When I want to work in a slow paced environment, which I'm working at right now, it's relatively slow, not the slowest, but relatively slow. Is okay, we need a new feature, we need to do a whole sort of planning for it. We estimate if it's going to take months or years or whatever. Then we are going to plan it correctly, assess all the risks, and then we slowly and gradually writing all the tests, everything. Then we ship things which are accurate, if that makes sense. So it depends on what kind of company do you want to work with. Ishaq says, we learn web development or something else. You can learn web development, yes. It still is valid. If you are looking to learn Angular, you should definitely scan this QR code, because this particular discount is going to end. It's going to end on January the 31st. So I'm going to remove that discount. It is actually on 75% right now, which is a huge discount. All I get, I think, is like $2.5 max. And the book usually goes for $19. And I get, I think, maybe 14 or something. So if you're looking to learn Angular, then this is the QR code. If you're looking for learning web development from scratch, I have a lot of YouTube courses online. You could go to CodewithAhsan.dev. If you go to this site, you'll see courses. You see this web development course. There are more than 2,100 people who are enrolled here. The book I just showed you is actually based on that this course, essentially. So if you understand Urdu or Hindi, you can just do this course. If you are someone who doesn't understand Urdu or Hindi or want a book in a book format, then you have to wait for my book to release, and then I can share once this is out, inshallah. Okay, any more questions? Thanks for the detailed explanation. What is your go-to model, Gemini 3 Pro, Sonnet, or Opus to start working on a project from scratch? I usually go towards Gemini 3 Pro, especially because I would say it's really powerful, and it's cheap as well. So I go for that. If I have something that is extremely complex code oriented, then I would rather prefer Claude Code in those situations. And that is Opus 4.5. So for example, what I was showing, like what's happening right now with the GSD, it's using, I think, Sonnet 4.5 and Opus 4.5. But coming back to the GSD, just wrapping things up, so it creates all of these tickets, all the features, all the requirement, which phase they are going to be developed in, and then it goes towards building them one by one, which is really nice. And you can, at any time, even if the context window is full, even if you run out of your quota, for example, or your Claude session has its limit reached, even then what you could do is you can continue with this. So your progress will always be saved, if that makes sense. So it's like a software developer with GSD that can work on some things. It can give you things to review, and at any time you can pause it and then continue from where you left off. So it's a really good framework. Then you have the roadmap that's here as well, like what are the plans, blah blah blah. It's a lot of documentation, which I really like. And then the project state, where the project is current. Where is it right now? It's on phase 1 out of 11, where it is reviewing the book's content at the moment, right? So first it discusses the phase, then it executes the phase. Sorry, it discusses, it plans, it executes, and it verifies. So those four things are really nice. So you can always go ahead and see where it is. So this is the current position. Here we have performance, like how is it doing, which decisions we have made, are there any pending to-dos, are there any blockers, session continuity. So this GSD is more for product owners, I would say, and also developers who understand, who have this mindset of, okay, this is how developers usually work, if that makes sense. So anyways, I think it's asking me a question. So right now, where are we? Look at this. So I started this, and then it did some research, then it created some plans. So this is the researching phase. After the research, it has come to this point where it has checked the plan. So the plan is validated, it's verified, ready for execution, right? So here's the plan. Phase 1 planned, and now you can see research is completed, verification is passed. The next thing to do for me is to execute this phase, which means that it's going to take the plan and will execute it one by one. Now, what are the plans? You can see that here. So we have the first phase, which is content review, right? In this content review, we have different plans. So this is the first plan, and this is the first phase. So 01 is phase 1, 01 is plan 1, 01 phase 1, and this is plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, plan 5, plan 6. So 7 different plans. It has the context of the plan, and you can see the context has these XML tags, which are really helpful for Claude Code. So it directly gives those things to Claude Code. What is the scope? What is the accuracy criteria? So it will give you the correct answers. Reviewing the workflow, Claude's discretion, blah, 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 right? So now that it has done the research, I can just run this command, GSD execute phase 1, and that would start the phase 1 for me, right? Also, we have different options like plan phase 1, like research. So I've already done the research, or Claude has already done the research. So I can quickly go ahead and say GSD, and here I can say execute phase 1. So now it's going to pick the roadmap, pick the state, pick the plan, and it's going to just continue with that. So I can do something else in the meantime, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how GSD works. I hope that answers the question. Snagglefluster says, my language can't have API because of prefix code problem. I can't say without looking at the code and the backend, like what is the backend, which framework, where is it deployed, what kind of prefix it is. I don't know. Hamza says, I've tried the Antigravity with Figma MCP to build a React Native app, but unfortunately not getting the desired result. Please suggest me a tool for mobile app development other than Cursor. It's not the I think it's not the problem of the tool, to be honest, Hamza. I think you're not doing the proper context engineering. So you have to you can't just rely on the Figma plugin itself. You have to also look into, do you have the current requirements given to Antigravity? Do you have the current skills? which are also present there. Have you defined the constraints, what kind of application it is? Have you defined the structure, the architecture of the application? So there are a lot of things that would go inside your editor, apart from just using the Figma MCP, if that makes sense. uh, my language can't have an API. Snaggle Fluster, do one thing: reach out to me. Reach out to me via email, and I can either help you myself, or I can try to get help from my partner team. So if I can't help, then they would help. Does that make sense? Just let me know in the chat. And if you want to reach out to me, just go to codewithahsan.dev, and here you should be able to see all my links here. So the email is here. You can't see it because it's in the footer. So if you go to codewithahsan.dev, go all the way to the bottom. Here you can see all the links. So you can reach out via email. No, I did not. Skipped. I'm going through a lot of messages. There are a lot of messages from other platforms as well. I don't think you see those. Maybe now you see. So there are messages from YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a lot of other platforms. So I would never dare skip you. Why would I do that? Okay, let's see. I'm looking at other messages as well. Sir, make videos on real project with AWS, orchestrated some scalable project with trade-offs, and explain. I will have someone hopefully on the channel. He actually works at AWS, and I think he can do a better job than me with AWS. I'm not an infrastructure / AWS person. Ishaq says, sir, which university is best for software engineer, computer science in Karachi? I would say go to any university. I don't think there's a lot of difference in the universities themselves. For being a programmer, you have to do the work yourselves. As a developer, how would you tackle the UI of your project? For example, in my case, when creating a mobile app, I'm always stuck on what looks good and appealing to the user. Any recommendations? I would say try out a few things, or you could also um, always take screenshots and ask it to, or ask the AI to implement 2 to 3 ways of the same thing, or 2 to 3 components. For example, take the screenshot of them, go to any AI tool, like let's say not Google Antigravity, Google AI Studio. There you can upload a few screenshots and ask it like which one is better in terms of UI UX and why. And I think that will give you a good answer. I usually go with providing it a theme, and then I look at, okay, does this really look intuitive? Is it easy to use? For example, on our mentorship platform, for example, here is we have a button that's go to dashboard, right? It could be a button here that says go to dashboard. It could be I don't know, we could directly land on the dashboard. So those kind of things you would have to identify. Similarly, should we be showing chips here? Should we show them some other way? As long as you really are providing value and it's a good user experience, then it doesn't matter if it's the best user experience, so to say, in my personal opinion, because best is really subjective. Are you using Antigravity for coding? Ethereum says yes, I am. I'm using Antigravity for as my editor, and I'm using Cloud Code wherever I can. Assalamu alaikum, Ahsan Bhaiya. Good evening. Hope everything is okay with you. Alhamdulillah. Yes, everything is good. Snagler says sorry. It's okay. No problem. Sir, please see Facebook comment. I am looking at Facebook comment. What do you mean? Did I miss some comment? I just read the comments. Folks, there are so many platforms, and I can only go one by one. So relax. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for your service. Do you have any recommendations for AI agent course that I can take as a beginner and someone who is new to code? I would say look into AI Studio, to be honest, to get started. There are really good things that you can do just with AI Studio. So you learn like the basic of it. For example, if I go to ai.dev, and we are drifting off a bit from the work, but let's see if I can show you. So if you go to AI Studio, you can build like a full applications from here, but I would suggest looking into chatting with models and then looking at these settings. This will teach you so much that it's just amazing. For example, if I go here, pick the Gemini 3 Pro preview, right? And then you can chat with it, but before you do so, you can also see some settings. I can show you the settings right here. So here you do see we have system instructions that you could add something here. Let's say I go with um I'm thinking, should I save something or no. Let's say I go here with something called structured outputs. So when we are programming, we often want to have a JSON data out of the AI model. So let's say you do have an application that tells you that connects you to a, what do you call it, an expert. Let's say it could be a physiotherapist, it could be a psychologist, it could be, I don't know, a baby specialist, um, it could be eye specialist, so something like that. So let's say if you wanted to build an AI powered application which would give you a recommendation of who to reach out, then this is what you would do. You would say, you would expect this AI model to give you the specialist type. It would not be a string, it would be an enum, which means it would have some options that you could retrieve from. So it could be a psychologist. I don't know if I'm typing it correctly. It could be an eye specialist. It could be a physiotherapist. It could be um, a child specialist, right? Then you could also give a reason why. And let's say you also might want to give um, first question from specialist, right? So let's say you always want your AI to give you response in this particular manner. I'm going to switch this to Gemini Flash for now. Where is it? This one, Gemini 3 Flash, right? Now that I have this, wait, it doesn't have the structure output. No way. Ah, okay. Maybe it has, but I did not. Did I lose the structured output because of just changing that? No. Okay, I have it. Oh, good. So let's say this is the structured output that I have, right? So if I give it a message to recommend me and connect with me with the right specialist, I would give the system instruction to say you are an AI agent that will connect the user with the right kind of specialist based on their question. You can also say if you cannot identify someone, a type, just say I don't know. Just say I can't help with that. Okay. So let's say this is the example. Then I'll also instruct it to give a good reason of why you chose it. And I'll also say, give a first question to the patient or user to ask from the specialist. Okay. So these are something. I'll also add one more thing, and that is a response message. Message should contain your response to the user. So I'm also going to add another property in there, and I'll call it response. Just say response itself. That's a string, right? Let's save this now. If I say I am having some, let's say, anxiety attacks. Of course, I'm not having those. Um, what do I do? Something like this, right? So if I do this, then it's going to return back a structured output. The AI is going to return back a JSON containing the data. So it's going to search, and let's see what happens. So you see what response came in. Here it says the specialist type is going to be a psychologist. What is the reason? Anxiety attacks are mental health concerns involving emotional distress and panic symptoms, which psychologists are specially trained to diagnose and strategies, right? So AI is giving us the reasoning why it's recommending us. Then it's also giving us a question where it says, this is the first question for specialist. Can we explore the specific physical sensations and thoughts I experienced during the attack to help identify potential triggers, right? And this is the response that AI is giving me back when I ask this question. It would say, I've connected you with a psychologist because they specialize in treating and disorder. So exactly the structure that I have mentioned in the structure output can be received or can come from here. Let's say I change this, I delete this from here, and I'm answering the question just to go back is um, where to start, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. So let's say if I go here and say I am having red eyes. If I just say this, then what happens? So let's see. So do you see now here? It says specialist type is eye specialist. Reason red eyes are specifically blah blah blah. First question from specialist also is given and also response. So every single time I'll get exactly the same JSON, which is the beauty of it, right? But let's say if I say something else, I go ahead and I ask it um, something like my computer does not turn on. Now, what is it supposed to do? Will it get some answer? Yes, no. So let's see what happens. Now, since we are enforcing structured outputs, I believe it's gonna find itself being in trouble. So here you see, it's finalizing the output, confirming schema adherence because we have said it to give a structured output. It cannot finalize it soon. It's thinking. But finally, we have a response. Specialist type is a psychologist. Reason I can't identify a type. First question from a specialist, I can't help with that. Response, I can't help with that. So it's giving us an output which is okay. And is this the problem of the AI model? Not really. It's not a problem of the AI model. It's us because we have not defined in our structure output what it should do when there's no type. So instead of having the specialist type here as one of these, we could have an enum here, which could say unidentified, right? And we could also have a response here, this one, reason, all of those, right? So if we make this the structure output, and we can also have the instruction saying those as well. Okay, if where was it? If you can't identify, just say I can't help with that with the properties having null. And I'm saying I can't help with that in the reason as the reason with properties having null. So let's try this out again. I'm gonna try the same command again. And this also probably would show you that it's not always the AI model that is the problem. It is mostly us which have not correctly implemented the tools. So let's try this now. Let's see how much time this takes. Do you see how fast this answer was this time? Can we have some claps in the chat for myself doing proper prompt engineering, so to say? So it this time it was super fast because it has the right system instructions and it has also the right structured output configuration as well. So this time it says specialist type unidentified. The reason I can't help with that, this null response. I'm sorry, but I can only help with finding medical specialist. I cannot assist with computer hardware or technical issues. So when you do correct prompt engineering and context engineering, then it works. So coming back to the question, how do I learn AI? So this is how you learn AI. You go to AI Studio, you try to play around with this. You see the output as much as you can do. You learn about not project, but prompt engineering, and then you implement and try it. So one of the best things about this is, and you can't see it, but I'm going to try to see if I can make it. Um, I'm going to try to see if I can somehow move my face around. Hmm. Let's see if I can. If I move it here and if I say not this one, but actually, okay, no, it's very hard to move my face there. I think this is much better. Okay, so we'll just move this. So here you can see we have this button called Get Code. So you click this button and you see the whole code in JavaScript or TypeScript. You copy this code, you implement this in your web application. Super easy. So if you have a Node.js application, you can just copy paste this code and it just starts working as it should. All you need is a Gemini API key. So you copy this code in your Node.js application. This code contains both the things. It contains the Google Gen AI or Gen AI library that you have to install as an npm package. You provide the API key. You set the configuration. In the configuration, you have this response schema, which is the structured output. So here you say, I should get, it's a required property. So specialist type, reason, I should get all these types. So we have specialist type, reason, first question from specialist, and response. All these properties should be there in my response. Then every type is defined here. So what is the type of specialist? It's a string. It could be one of these enums. The reason is going to be type of string. First question from specialist is going to be of type string. Response is going to be of type string. And then these are the system instructions as I gave it to the model. Here's the model configuration. Here is the question that you're going to send. And here's the code that actually makes the API call. So you call ai.models.generate content stream, take the response, and essentially log that. Super easy, right? So you copy this, you take it to your Node.js code, and then you try from there. And from the AI Studio itself, you will learn a bunch of things like what is a temperature. So try to move the temperature up and down. Temperature means how creative the AI model can be. What is going to be the media resolution for the images, if there are any images? What is the thinking level, high, minimal, low, medium? So all of these things will teach you quite a lot of things. Then you have the grounding with Google search. So if you wanted to ask a question that involves Google search, you can turn on this one, go to the code again, and then copy this one, which has the Google search. Similarly, function calling, URL context, all of these things are. So I would definitely recommend looking into AI Studio to see how to work with AI models today. And a lot of other models also would have probably the same implementation. So I hope it helps. Now looking at the questions. Sir, where did you do your university? From University of Karachi. Ishaq says, I'm studying in class 12. I already did HTML, CSS, JavaScript, GSF animation. What can I learn next? What you can learn next, Ishaq, is to actually build something with those things. Because it's not about learning those things and just leaving them. It's always about building stuff with that. So I hope that helps. As a new joiner, Nadir says, how would you approach understanding existing project, especially one using complex design patterns, that is builder for flexibility and scalability? I've been at the company for 1.5 years. I would say use AI for this. So you can use any AI tool, especially I would say Gemini, because Gemini has a really big context window. So what you could do is you could just go ahead and ask Gemini or use Gemini CLI, for example, and then say to create a documentation of the architecture patterns that are used in the project or the decisions that you can find within the project already. So ask questions like those. Ask it to create a documentation for those things, for those decisions, for architecture patterns, and then explain on top of those as well. I think the world that we live in today with AI, it has so many possibilities just by using the correct tools. Mohammed Hamza says, if you're a project manager, then you need to create a full document. After that, yes, you can create application for project management. Yeah, of course. Ganesh gives some clappings right there. With 5 to 6 years of .NET experience, but I still don't fully understand the overall architecture. Sometimes you don't really need to be honest. Sometimes you don't need to know all of the things. Sometimes you just need to focus on what do you need to know to do the next task at your job. Because you might know 1,000 things, but you may only be using 5 of them. Then what's the point of investing time in learning all those things? Ishaq says, I uploaded these in my in files in my GitHub. Then you should look into maybe a front end framework. If you already think you're too good with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then you should be looking into some sort of front end framework or library like React. If you, I hope you understand Urdu English. So you could even look into this course. It's called React JS or full something like this. Learn React in Hindi, Urdu, React.js full course in Hindi Urdu. I forgot the name of my course. So this is a course that I've uploaded on Udemy, and you can find it, of course, and you can do it from there. So it's a full course on. When we say full, we mean it has a lot of content in it. There are more than 333 people with 58 ratings, saying 4.5 star out of 5. So that means they like the course so far. So it goes through the core concepts of React and a lot of other things as well. And this is the QR code if you want to scan. So I hope that helps. Ganesh says, Sir, I'm asking something above. Let me see. Where did I miss it? Okay, sir, I'm developing a project management application without a coding background. Can I? Yes, you can. I would say you can use the Google's Antigravity, which is this IDE that has agentic AI built into it. So you start a new project with Antigravity, and then you first provide all the, what do you call it, all the requirement documentation. So what should a project management tool or application look like? So you can't just say build me a project management tool, because then AI doesn't know what do you really want. So if you have no idea what you want to do, and that doesn't mean having a coding background, but actually knowing what you want to build. If you don't have a clarity of what you want to build, then I would recommend uh, using Cloud Code, but obviously you have to pay for it. So using Cloud Code with this thing called GSD. I'm going to share the link in the chat. Zishan says, I received an email a few days ago from Miss Maham, but unfortunately my email was deleted from my side. And now, how to follow for the instructions for mentorship regarding email? Oh, okay. Zishan, I think you're not up to date with what's going on, or maybe you're not looking at Discord. We have a new platform for mentorship. If you go to codewithahsan.dev/mentorship, this is where you reach, right? When you go here, you register yourselves as a mentee. I'm going to show it to you, hopefully from my other account, which has a mentee. So if I go to codewithahsan.dev/mentorship, so when you go here, you should, it doesn't show it. Let's try one more thing. So let's say when you go here, you're going to have to log in. And when you log in, you'll see some buttons here: become a mentor, be a mentee. So click this one. You're not a mentor, you're not a senior, you are a junior who's looking for mentorship. So you click this one. When you click this one, it's going to ask you to log in. Then you would have to fill a form. Once you fill the form, you can go inside here and see community mentors or browse mentors. When you click browse mentors, you're going to see all the amazing mentors that we have right now. We have Muhammad Ali, Furqan Ali, we have Salman Shahid. I don't know who this winning words is, but I'm going to have to look. Then we have Harun Tawfiq, Faisal Amin, all of the amazing people that we have right here, right? So, um, I'm going to have to look if this is correct actually. I think this is probably not correct. I think, but I'm going to have a look. Ideally, there should be some people who should not be seen here. But anyways, I think these are the ones that should be there. Okay, so we have a problem where community mentors are these ones, which are public. But I think the browse mentorship is not correct. Okay, I have to fix that. Maybe we'll fix it in this stream. But here you can see we have these mentors which are supposed to be there, and then you can request mentorship from them. So let's actually try to fix that now that we have actually looked into it. Code with Ahsan. I think that's aha. I think that's a problem because someone in the chat said that their mentorship was not accepted, and um, and they were still getting some mentorship requests. So maybe let's fix that. No, no, Zishan, the form doesn't work anymore. So forget the form. The form doesn't work anymore. Nadir says, I work in Pakistan for about 4 years. We are the most team focused mainly on delivering features with little emphasis on the code quality. Yeah, I understand. Now I work at a Norwegian company. There's a strong focus on code quality, structure, design patterns. Am I the only one who feels this difference, or is this a common experience? This is a common experience. That was my experience as well. I'm right now in Sweden, so any companies that I worked in, or majority of the companies that I worked with in Pakistan had the same culture, unfortunately. Okay, so let's so we're gonna try to fix something with anti-gravity. Okay, so we're gonna pick Cloud Opus 4 and we'll tell it with the proper context. So here I'm gonna say to it that the where was it, community members and then browse mentors, right? Let's open it actually, and not this. Let's actually open my other account, and here mentorship dashboard. And here we're going to go ahead with the browse mentors, right? So I think the browse mentors right now. So here, let's give the image. The browse mentors right now shows all mentors, not just the public and approved one. Active ones, I think, which now makes it possible for mentees to request mentorship from them, which should not be the case. Fix it to only show approved mentors. Also, create a script like the scripts we have, or let's actually give it the script. Or we have a script which should be pretty nice, which is which one was it? Find max mentees, resend somebody. No, find duplicate mentorships. Or find mentees without Discord. Can someone tell me in the chat, why do you think I'm not giving it exactly the file at the moment? Why do you think? Because I can do the @ and I can give it the file. Why do you think I'm not giving it the file, so to say? Based on Firebase admin etc. So let's see the plan and then the execution. We'll see. Zishan says, I filled the form already. Okay, I already answered it. Munib says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. I've been working as a software engineer since 2023, website development, Angular plus Node.js, but now the introduction of AI changes development sector. So I'm thinking of learning ML AI, specifically MCP, agentic AI, creating AI models. But I'm a little confused about where to start from. Very basic statistics, calculus, multivariable course, please. No, I don't think. It's like when you want to drive a car, you don't learn how to create an engine or how the engine works. You need to just learn to how to drive the car. So now you have AI models or agentic AI. So I would say look into MCP and AI models in general. You don't need to learn how to create AI models. The AI models are already there. They are available. We have open source models. We have models like Gemini, all the other ones. You need to learn to use how these tools work and how to get the accurate result out of those. That's what I'm focusing on. That makes sense. Okay, so it has identified the issue. So when we go with API mentorship mentors only filters by status equals to accepted when public equals to true. The browse page doesn't pass this parameter, which means the non-improved mentors also appear. So that was a big issue in our implementation, which actually resulted in some weird scenarios. So we have to write a script as well, which would clean this up later on. Okay, so writing implementation plan. And what I like about Antigravity is that it creates a plan for us that we can review always. So let's see. So this is the plan and it's proceeding because I've set my configuration to always proceed. So this is the implementation summary. Mentorship browse currently shows all mentors except the disabled ones, including the ones which have status pending. So this is not good. Allows mentees to request mentorship from mentors who haven't been approved yet. Sad. API mentorship mentors pass this parameter. Script creation request to create a script to modify the status equals to accepted. So it's going to always accept or always show only the accepted ones. Okay. Find mentors without Discord script. Blah blah blah. Then it's looking at the script, and now this is the plan. So before the fix, which is the current behavior, navigate to this particular page, and then we'll see if the mentors are correct. Run the development server, which is npm run dev, login as mentee, blah blah blah. This is my manual setup that it's trying to tell me that I should do, and then I have to run this script to check. Find mentors without Discord. Verify output show list of mentor without Discord. Oh, did I not? Hmm. Aha, I did not write my message completely. Munib says, you have not given the files directly because Redis will understand the situation that will give better result. I have not given the file because I don't want the file's code already in the chat. When it wants to get it, it can automatically get it. So that's why I just gave it the name. And I'm going to also say about this message. I wanted to say that you have to create another script to fix this mess, that is clean up existing mentorship requests to the mentors which are not accepted. They could be disabled, pending, etc. Right? I'm going to retry it, and then once it's done, then I'm going to add a new message. Let's see. Okay, so this is now testing the script on the dry run mode. So I don't have to do that. So I'm gonna stop it. I'm going to call it say to create a new one. Okay, so first thing first, first of all, we need to stop this issue where we only need to send back the accepted ones, and then also filter the public only. So we don't, what do we do here? Mem is not false. Okay, so it's true or it's not false. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to commit this change so we don't see this in production. So git commit fix mentorship fix browse mentors page to not show unaccepted mentors. So we push this so we get the new deployment, and then that is fixed. And we'll see how that goes then. Okay, so it found 24 plus invalid sessions with mentors which were not approved. So the lint warnings about required blah blah blah, that is expected, that's fine. So let's see, clean up invalid ones. Okay, so now we have a walkthrough as well. So that means AI is done. Now we have to run the script to see what it gets out of all those things. I'm going to close all of these. Now let's have a look at the cleanup one. And I'm going to close this AI thingy here. Secure code require style import is forbidden. We're gonna import it here. I want to see what we are doing with the backfill one, for example, or cleanup invalid. We have find duplicate mentors. How are we using it here? Hmm. Send channel message. Blah blah blah. Okay, then I'll ask it to implement it similar to how we have the other one. So make the cleanup similar to find mentees without Discord. Um, Script in terms of usage, make one-to-one implementation apart from the actual logic. So we let it do its thing, and I don't think this should be. I'm gonna delete that. So we'll keep this one. I'm not going to save this. Let's see. Hmm. So first of all, let's try to see if I can see still all these mentors. So there are 33 members which are there, and let's see if that fixes it. So now we see 17 mentors. So we have fixed the issue. So nobody is supposed to get mentorship from people who are not active or disabled, so to say. So this is good. We have community members, which are about 17, if I remember correctly. And we should also have the browse mentors as well. I'm gonna see if my name comes up here. Naji, Aqib Ali, Asadullah, Faizan, Nabil Hassan. Yeah, my name also comes here because I have marked myself as public, I think. If I go to settings and I go here down, but I have not marked this as public. So so then also I think we should be fixing that as well. So for the browse page also show only the ones which are public. So we do it like this, and then we have this command as well. So let's quickly run the command with the dry run. So we do dry run true, and we use script slash cleanup pages. So let's see which ones do we find. Here it says bucket name not specified and valid. I think I fixed it somewhere. Mm, or is it a different problem? Give me 1 second. I need to see why do we get this issue. So because I don't want to expose any environment variables at the moment. So we do have the env right here. Hmm. Hmm. Why is that? Okay. I think it could be that I have fixed it in my laptop on some other script. Okay, but I think the script works now. Let's see. Okay, so let's try this again now. I'm going to share my screen now. So we try this again. And this time we should be able to see all the invalid ones. Okay, so here we do have all those. So Faizan, mentor status is declined. Session should be cancelled in this case, and then we also should be able to see this message as well. So let's quickly clear this and then run this without the dry run, and you'll see something interesting now. This will clean up all those and hopefully send a message on Discord as well. So deleted all those which are not supposed to be there, and then there should be a message on Discord as well that it has sent that information. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Hmm. And there we go. So you see the message right here, sessions deleted. All of these ones are deleted now. And I'm glad Aves was sending the message. So I think maybe there should be some message here from Aves as well. Hmm. Okay, here is the one. Okay, so I'm gonna tag Aves now. Uh, and is his username just Aves or what? Okay, yeah. Um, let's have a look at the what do you call it? At at the monitor next week. Okay, so we don't have that problem anymore. Good. So that's how you fix things with AI. Zishan, did you get the idea of how to now look for mentorship? So what you will do is you'll go to the platform codewithahsan.dev/mentorship. So go here, click the mentorship, create a profile here within this application. You'll see a form like this. So you mention your Discord username, your educational background, the things that you're interested in. Then mention some things here as well. Save the changes. Once you do so, you should be able to go to Browse Mentors, and in here you will see all the active mentors that we have, and then you do a request match. Once you do request match, they will receive an email. They will probably also receive a Discord message as well, and then they can accept it or decline it depending on their availability, and they can see your profile and if they're interested in mentoring you, if that makes sense. For example, Imran can take up to 10 mentees. So you can see Imran's profile here as well, like about experience, what they have, all of these things, which days they are available, etc. And then you can do a request mentorship, and then it will send an information or an email to them, and they should be able to then accept or decline. For example, when you send a mentorship request, it should look something like um, this. I can show you, not my matches, but my pending request. So if a mentor is looking at your request, they're going to see it like this. They can see your email, they can see your Discord username, and then they can either accept or decline, and in either case, you will receive an email. And if you have a mentorship generated, then you will get an automatic Discord channel created as well. For example, these are all the Discord channels that you can see that are created with mentors and mentees. And if you have any questions, I would say just go to the chit chat channel, and then you can share there. All right, great. So I think this was a pretty nice and productive session. And this is, by the way, the new book that I'm hopefully publishing soon once I have reviewed the things that I need to review, which also tells me I need to go here and continue as well. Okay, so discussion decision required. All seven. I would say run sequentially, one at a time. And this is the nice thing about Cloud Code plus Get Shit Done. So you know what's gonna happen. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking to the AI model. It's like having a, a, a developer or working with one. So a lot of questions. But anyways, I'm gonna stop streaming now, and I have to go, and I will catch you folks later. I'll continue with this and keep you up to date on my channels. Thank you for all the messages and all the likes and shares as well of the stream. If you have not done it, I think you should. And with that said, as always, happy coding, and I'm gonna see you next